Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Well. Look who's back from Pasadena Comic-Con. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a wonderful start to your week. And by start to your week, I mean Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to the Writer Time Podcast here on the Morphin Network. I'm Mike, TimeRider Zero, your host, and today we'll be discussing Kamen Rider Gotchard Episode 20. Smiling Angel, ridiculous joke. Honestly, what's really ridiculous is the episode title. I mean, like, really ridiculous joke. Really, like that's the title you're going with. Before we get started, I just want to say to anyone who was at Pasadena Comic-Con, I hope you had a great time there. I, for one, was really happy to have met one of my favorite drummers in the world. Vinny Appice, thank you so much for signing my 3 Dio albums. My only regret is that I could not have my favorite album for you to sign, but 3 out of 4 ain't bad. My favorite album, Sacred Heart. I wasn't able to get my hands on it quickly enough, so it is what it is. But hey, I got the first, second, and fourth albums signed, so yeah. Holy Diver, classic album. Gives you really good Highlander vibes. I want to thank Scott Zillner for hosting the event. You did a fantastic job booking such an amazing list of actors, and like I was surprised how short Johnny's line was this year, because usually he has like the longest line ever. But when you have Gray Delisle and Austin St. John to act as a lightning rod, it is what it is. Yeah, he left early, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to say hi. But maybe next time. But yes, as I have promised for ages, I streamed earlier this week. Yes, that's right. I did a Twitch stream, as I promised. It's still January. So I held my end of the bargain. I don't have to hold it any longer. I'm joking. I will keep streaming, but at least I got things done. I got all these cables set up. I'm trying to get my Nikon to work properly as a webcam, because while it looks very solid, I don't like how there's like all these borders around it. Like, that's an issue. I mean, if I use StreamYard, I don't think it's going to be an issue because there is a crop feature. But no, not on StreamYard. Streamlabs, there's a crop feature, but there isn't on StreamYard. So unfortunately, I'm going to stick to the internal camera as you see me today. Now, what are your thoughts on this episode? Because last time we got our first ever female second writer to show up. It was a pretty damn good episode, I'm not gonna lie. So, and because they spoiled it ahead of time in the theme song, you know that Kamen Rider Spanner is gonna show up sooner or later. I didn't think it would be this soon, but there he is. Just so you know, he doesn't become a Kamen Rider this episode, but he will in the next episode. So here we are. So, what kind of compelling story do we have for Spanner to become a Kamen Rider? Well, first of all, he does become Amalgam. That's kind of not surprising, for being completely honest. We all knew that, like, it was bound to happen to either Renee. It's bound to happen to either to Renee or Spanner. We just don't know which one's which. Okay, it was gonna be one of them. Hey, it's not too late for it to be both of them, if we're being honest. I mean, look at Yuki from Kamen Rider Force. Okay, but Banner's backstory, basically Batman. Basically Batman. I was hoping for something a little bit more creative, but it's basically Batman. Orphaned as a child a long, long time ago and whatnot. Yeah, I'm not super impressed because again, we've seen this origin story before, and yeah, I'm just not super impressed because we've seen this before. I mean, we literally just finished Gotham just a few years ago during COVID, I think. So yeah, um, there really isn't much to say about this episode. All we know is that the master, she created a new belt, but she warns everyone else, hey, I wanted to meet Spanish friends from the get-go, but and I'm glad he's making friends, but you guys got to be careful because one, he has originally this belt was made to combine two sixes. I'm like, excuse me, two sixes? I thought the whole gimmick was that you have to add up two numbers to add up to 10. And by the way, given the fact that Rene uses a 3 and a 7, while Hotar uses a 1 and a 9, don't you think that it would make more sense if Spanner had like a 4 and a 6 instead of two sixes? Because then you could have up to 5 riders where it's like, oh, 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, and then you'd have one that's two fives. Just a thought. Just a thought. And on that subject, because we know there's 101 chemis, what's the last one going to be? Is it going to be a 0? Is it going to be a chemi that uses all 10 categories? What are your guys' thoughts on that? I know I've probably asked this question a couple of times already, but it does make me wonder. But yeah, so it turns out that Spanner is met with his parents, and what's really weird is that even though it wasn't mentioned outright until this episode, I was always under the impression that his parents died. I don't know why, but I was always under the impression that his parents died. So, it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of weird that that's a thing. Um, but they're alive seemingly, but turns out they're not. They're just ghosts. So the angel amalgam shows up, and it's not a bad design. It's not a terrible design. I think they could have done a better one, but I don't hate it though. I don't hate this. I don't hate this design. Yeah, but I feel like certain parts could have been improved upon. But I do find it interesting how part of its outfit does kind of resemble a toga, like an angel's wearing a toga, and then like Malga was like carrying the actual angel. Um, yeah, Spanner's getting his butt kicked, and his parents can't do anything about it. They try to make a run for it, while Hotaro and Rine try to intervene, but guess what? It's not gonna happen that easily. So, what's worse than seeing your parents die? Seeing your parents die twice. And poor Spanner, he's begging and pleading. It's like, please don't make me become Batman twice. Oh, we're absolutely gonna turn you into Batman twice. Like it's gonna happen, boy. Oh, you just sit your pretty little face down. And he was like, but Master Minato, please stop it from happening. He's like, hey man, it's out of my hands. Who do I look like? Chiron from Percy Jackson? You think I'm going to conveniently support my former students? Yeah. And yes, I actually finished the fourth book last night. So no, I'm not on the Disney Plus bandwagon. Like if you I haven't seen the TV show. I haven't even seen the second movie. I've only seen the first movie. But as far as the book goes, I'm 4 books in. I'm gonna start reading the fifth one. But dang. Like credit where credit's due, even Dionysus from Percy Jackson like can kick butt when he's needed to kick butt, even though he is probably one of the most irritating recurring characters in the series. But at least he proves his position amongst the Olympic 12. But yeah, Spanner goes berserk. Turns out he becomes Amalgam. Is he Mad Wheeler? Maybe. I know Mad Wheeler was stolen. I mean, that's one of the two problems involving the belt that he was supposed to get when he was supposed to become a Kamen Rider. But like, he clearly is supposed to become Mad Wheeler, but I don't know. But I do find it interesting how part of his body looks like a hand like removed, like that purple part of his face from his Valvared form. So it's kind of like Phantom of the Opera in a sense. But yeah, no, he gives the other characters a run for their money, and even though he demorphs and regains control, we still have a few words to deal with. Turns out, yeah, his parents did die. He thought that they were away on a secret mission, but nope, they are dead. They were dead the whole time. He witnessed them dying. He went berserk from the trauma, and so he had his memories wiped because he kept going through PTSD. It's like, I thought you just knew what to do with your trauma because there's no emotions involved in chess. I'm like, wow, wow. I mean, I know you have to be cool and calculating to play chess, but I did not think you would have to do it that literally or figuratively. Hmm. 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 I don't know. I'm not a fan of this backstory. It's like, well, yes, the master, she's a good person. She's trying to help this poor traumatized kid deal with trauma. But again, it's like it's too hackneyed. It's too mundane. I just can't get over it. Like really, we're going with the whole Batman thing, and he's not even doing like he's the angry Bruce Wayne too. Like, uh, so at least now we know why he's obsessed with aesthetics because it's his coping mechanism for dealing with trauma, or at least a coping mechanism that was forced upon him by Master. I'm not saying she's a bad guy uh, for basically traumatizing him more than he already was, but again, you did traumatize him more than he already was, so did kind of contribute to it. And I get it. It ain't dealing. I mean, it ain't easy dealing with a kid with trauma, especially that traumatized kid could summon black flames and make spikes shoot out of a wall, causing you to go have a massive scar along your arm. But I know there's better ways to deal with it. And of course, Spanish response is, "Why, thank you. I used to wonder why I was strong enough to become a Kamen Rider. Turns out you were my weakness. You were holding me back. If I gave in to my anger, I would have the power. I would have the power to fight the amalgams." It's like, no way, hold on. The belt's almost ready. It took me 10 years, but it's almost ready. Oh, by the way, Grayon was the one that killed his parents, in case if it needed to be mentioned. I mean, it's kind of obvious that he was the one, but for any audience members who don't know, well, now you know. And so while Rine and Hotaro, which by the way, I like the two of them transform together, it really affirms the fact that, yeah, they're the first and second. Actually, now that I think about it, who's the tertiary writer in Geats? Is it Buffa or is it a Nago? Hmm. Kind of interesting. Kind of makes me wonder. I'm thinking Nago, but I feel like a lot of people want to market things otherwise. I could be wrong. Actually, I'm curious. Reiwa tertiary writer. Let's check. Ba, ba, ba. Nope, just some Reddit post. Reiwa era. Um, let's see. Timeline being shown in contrast with my 01 Saber Revise. Mm, uh, let's see. Each season features at least one writer with a primary feline motif. Well, yeah, I figured. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But of course, so the two of them fight off the angel amalgam, and then they're interrupted. And of course, Spanner goes berserk, and that's where we end off the episode. Like I said, not much happens in this episode. Like, even setting up the plot for the episode takes place halfway into the episode, and most of the episode is focused on Spanner's backstory, and even then, there's very little in terms of payoff. I feel like maybe if they did not reveal the entire backstory in this episode and gave more details in the next episode, you would see a bigger picture and that would allow him to eventually become a Kamen Rider. But for now, it's just the obligatory, oh, this character turned into a monster. He must snap out of it in order to become a Kamen Rider. Where have we seen that before? Let's see. There's Revice. Revice did that with Live Evil. Let's see. Paper didn't really do that much because all the evil writers from that one were already evil. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. but still, we've seen it before. We've seen it before. It's just kind of weird. Another Agito. There's another Agito. Gills a little bit. Let's see. Fives, technically, because the main character is a wolf orphanok. Oh, definitely Chalice, more or less. Let's see. Any other writers that started off as villains? I'm sure I'll figure something out. Oh, Kamen Rider Beast. He was absorbed by the Chimera Phantom. Sort of, kind of, not really. Okay. Point is, it's just kind of boring, honestly. This, I feel like we could have done something a lot more fun with Spanner, but we ended up with this boring mess. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. I had to give this episode 7. While it's cool seeing Rene affirm her position as the second writer, Spanner's just a boring character. And as much as I like the idea of having a character with a chess aesthetic, they did not utilize it very well. I'm sorry, they just didn't. And I love my board games, dude. You know how much I play Shogi, Go, a Rummy Cube, checkers, chess, Uno, poker, war, slap, speed, gin rummy, Hanafuda. I love playing games, dude. But oh, Mahjong. I also play Mahjong. I love playing games. And like you have a guy with a chess obsession, and this is how you utilize it. Ugh, I'm just this episode's boring. 7 out of 10. Like we don't even get satisfying fight scenes in this episode. Let me know what you guys thought. Let's hope Boom Boomer doesn't disappoint because right now all we got going for superhero time is King Oger, and that's ending in a few episodes. Lachesis feels the same way of being left out. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I think it's kind of weird how Grayon and Atropos are interacting. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Angel Amalgam that governs life and death. Yes, just like Grody from King Oger. From 10 years ago, yes. Kyoko comes in for an important discussion. Yes, I wonder what that discussion could be. Meanwhile, Salty Spanner is being salty. Agreed. Despite having a seemingly solid backstory, Spanner comes off as boring. Thank you for agreeing with me on this one. Let's see. Uh, his driver's almost complete, but they need Mad Wheel back. Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll get it back when he, turns back into a normal human. Let's see. Oh, here come the Black Flames. Yeah, Sasuke vibes. Like when. Ugh. Let's see. Berserk mode. On Minato, you chicken, do something already. Yeah, I mean, look, Minato isn't gonna do squat. Let's keep it 100. Let's see. He leaves her and goes rogue, but she'll wait for you because she believes you can surpass the Black Flames. I mean, it's kind of like Annabeth and Luke. God damn it! What's with all the Percy Jackson references I'm making this episode? Oh man. Freaking Kronos. Oh yeah, that explains the scar on her wrist. Yeah, I actually forgot that she had a scar on her wrist up until this episode. So rarely brought up. I noticed Lachesis is starting to worry for Spanner when he turns into a powerful amalgam. I mean, is she worried for him or is she worried about him? Because worried for him implies that she might have some hidden emotions towards him. But being worried about him might mean that, oh snap, he's that powerful. He might kick my butt. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Yeah, Spell Red's combo is matching the same number level. For example, Gut Shovel and Orochi 9. Yeah, it's still kind of weird. I like being consistent, is all I'm saying. Yeah, they're announcing the Tertiary and Evil Rider cards for the next phase. I mean, there's already 3 riders, so, And Iron Gotchard attachment too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm noticing that all of the new forms this season are just attachments to add to the driver. It's not like attachment on another attachment. It's just another attachment. It's like we got like 3 versions of the ignition attachment, and that's all there is to it. Did you watch the Boom Boomer teaser on? Yeah, no, I did watch that trailer before I started the stream. I'm getting some Lupod vibes with the Megazord. I know it's not necessarily the case. I think that the main trailer is indeed the Red Ranger Zord, but the way things were portrayed in the trailer, it almost seems like it's a neutral Zord that the other five Rangers merge their own Zords onto, kind of like in Lupin Ranger versus Powder Ranger, where like, oh, both the Lupin Rangers have their own individual Zords and the Powder Rangers have their own individual Zords, but you can't. It's not just going to be just the three Zords combining. There's like a fourth Zord that they combine too, but that fourth Zord can combine with both combinations of three Zords. So, but it's a neutral Zord. It doesn't affirmatively belong to one of the two teams or the other of the two teams. That's the kind of vibe I was getting from the Red Ranger Zord. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it is in fact his Zord. It just gives me those kind of vibes. I just hope that it's better than Kira Major, because I tend to not be a fan of vehicle themed Sentai, with the exception of Bokenger. But yeah, this just feels like another vehicle themed season. But the trailer looks more promising than what the season might actually be. I'm just really concerned because Dawn Brothers was a banger. King Oger, great follow up. How can How can anything keep up? Can live up to King Oger's momentum? I feel like Boom Boonger won't, but I hope I'm wrong on this one. But sadly, Gotchard so far not living up to Geats. Are things improving? Yes, but not enough. At least that's my opinion. Next episode is Mad Wheeler's Evolution. What is it gonna be called? Wise Wheeler or something? Better stop treating Kemi's like tools after he becomes a true writer. P.S. Don't be a comedy relief. Okay, look. I know we made a lot of jokes about Kamen Rider Rogue being comedy relief, but I don't think Spanner is gonna make that much of a character shift. But if they do, I'm gonna be really upset. Anyways, that's it for the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please, everything you do will help us with the algorithms. We want to get ourselves out to more people who might be interested in watching our content. And because we are all one big Ranger community, and there's never a lack of room for us to add more people to that community. And be sure to ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. We're starting a little bit later this week on both Gotchard and King Oger videos this week. But we're going back to our regular schedule for build, because 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, we are going to be doing the final 4 episodes of Kamen Rider Build. Can you believe it? We're almost done with Kamen Rider Build. After we're done with this 4-episode batch, all we got to do is just do the 2 VSNX movies, and we're done. We are completely done with Build in its entirety, unless they make another VSNX for the 10th anniversary or something like that. But once we do that, we're gonna move on to the next Kamen Rider after that. We got the roulette set up and everything. As for Ultraman, we just finished Blazar last week. We're taking a break this week. Next week, on Monday, we're gonna get started with Ultraman Tiga. Yes, we're going all the way back to the beginning of the Heisei era, where it all began, and Power Rangers ended because Foxbox was a thing. But don't worry, we are doing the Japanese dub. We're not doing the 4Kids version of Tiga, although we are probably going to talk about it. So there's that. But Other than that, check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do movie reviews, video game news, etc. We just finished Crow Month. We did all 4 of the currently released Crow movies. The original 1994 film, City of Angels, Salvation, Wicked Prayer, all in honor of the 30th anniversary of the first movie, as well as anticipating the remake that comes out later this year, starring Bill Skarsgård. And with that said, yeah, if you want to check out my personal content, you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kawato and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKawato. And yes, I actually did finally start streaming again. So I did the first section of Mega Man Battle Network 1. So come to my Twitch channel in order to watch the first episode. And follow my channel in order to be notified when I do the second chapter of BN1. Until then, my next convention appearance is going to be Simi Valley Toy Comic Fest in February. It's going to be on the same Sunday as Pokemon Go Fest. So yeah, Pokemon Go. It's a Pokemon day at a Yu-Gi-Oh convention. So it's like, expect a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh card traders out there, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh voice actors. It is a Yu-Gi-Oh themed convention this year. It's always a different theme. You know, we had Power Rangers, then Avatar, then Digimon. So naturally, next one is Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm gonna be there. Scott's gonna be there. Ryan might be there. Not sure. But we'll see. And back to the Buttery Show, I will release a vlog of my experience being there. So, of being at the Pasadena Comic Con. So once again, Scott, thank you for hosting Pasadena Comic Con and Simi Valley Touring Comic Fest. I will see you guys at the convention, as well as I'll see you guys at the end of at the start of the next video that we do on this channel. Until then, stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kits, hug your loved ones, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye.